down on the end of a bench with the dumbbells resting on your thighs. As you lie back, raise your thighs, bringing the dumbbells to your chest. Make sure your head, back, and buttocks are in full contact with the bench and that your feet are either flat on the floor or flat on the bench. Push the dumbbells toward the ceiling so they sit above your chest and keep a moderate bend in your elbows throughout the entire exercise. Inhale as you open your arms in a wide arc, slowly lowering the dumbbells until your upper arms are parallel to the floor. Exhale as you raise your arms, bringing your palms together above your chest. Always keep your wrists flat and your elbows bent. Adjust bench to an inclined bench and sit down with your feet flat on the floor and the dumbbells resting on your thighs. If the bench is too high, place a block under your feet so your thighs are parallel to the floor. Kick the dumbbells up to your chest, keeping them tight to your body as you lean back. Make sure your head, back, and buttocks are in full contact with the bench and that your feet are flat on the floor. Push the dumbbells toward the ceiling so your arms are perpendicular to the floor and the dumbbells sit above your chest. Keep a moderate bend in your elbows throughout the entire exercise. Inhale as you open your arms in a wide arc, lowering the dumbbells until your upper arms are parallel to the floor. Exhale as you raise your arms, bringing your palms together above your chest. Always keep your wrists flat and your palms facing your body. Set the cables to head height. Grab a hold of each handle and take a step forward into a staggered stance with your knees slightly bent, abdominals contracted, and your trunk bent forward at 30 degrees. Inhale as you open your arms at your sides until they are in line with your shoulders. Exhale as you squeeze your chest, bringing your palms together in front and slightly below your chest. Maintain a moderate bend in your elbows and make sure they do not travel past behind your back. Always keep your wrists flat and your elbows moderately bent. Adjust the height and the depth of the machine so that when you are in position, your hands are at mid-chest and your elbows are slightly past your back. Sit on the machine and press your head, upper back, and buttocks to the pads and place your feet flat on the floor. If the seat is too high, place a block under your feet so your thighs sit parallel to the ground. Keeping your wrists flat and your knuckles pointing forward, exhale and push the handles away until your elbows reach a soft bend. Inhale as you bend your elbows, guiding the handles back until your upper arms are in line with your shoulders. Always keep your wrists flat. Load the barbell with your desired weight and use collars to secure the weights onto the barbell. Lie down on a flat bench and position yourself so your eyes are directly under the barbell. Make sure your head, back, and buttocks are in full contact with the bench and that your feet are either flat on the floor or flat on the bench. Grasp the bar with a closed pronated grip, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. With a spotter's help, lift the barbell off the rack and position it over your chest, keeping your elbows slightly flexed and your wrists flat. Inhale as you lower the barbell towards your chest until your upper arms are parallel to the ground, and slightly angle your elbows towards your hips. Exhale as you press the barbell back up until a soft bend is left in your elbows. Load the barbell with your desired weight and use collars to secure the weights onto your barbell. Lie down on a flat bench and position yourself so your eyes are directly under the barbell. Make sure your head, back, and buttocks are in full contact with the bench and that your feet are either flat on the floor or flat on the bench. Grasp the barbell with a closed grip, shoulder width apart. With a spotter's help, lift the barbell off the rack and position it over your chest, keeping your elbows slightly flexed and your wrists flat. Inhale as you lower the barbell towards your chest by dropping your upper arms until they are parallel to the floor. Keep your elbows tucked in and your wrists above your elbows. Exhale as you press the barbell back up over your chest, leaving a soft bend in your elbows. Get into a plank position with your feet hip width apart and place your hands on the ground wider than shoulder width apart. Extend your arms, leaving a slight bend in your elbows, and tighten your buttocks and your core to keep your back flat. Inhale as you slowly lower your body to the ground until your upper arms are parallel to the floor. Exhale as you push your body back up, being sure to keep a soft bend in your elbows. Always keep your core strong and maintain a flat back.
Adjust the machine so that your knees are directly over your ankles in a seated position. Grasp the bar 1 to 2 hand widths beyond shoulder width with palms facing away from you. Lean back at the waist to approximately 30 degrees. Engage the core and set your shoulders. Exhale as you draw the bar towards your chest. Inhale as you slowly return the bar to the starting position. Make sure that you're breathing throughout the exercise. Exhale on the effort, move at a steady pace. Avoid letting momentum take over the movement. Keep the core engaged to maintain a neutral spine. Do not pull the bar behind your head. Adjust cable attachment so that it's above head height. Take a slight squat or assume a staggered stance. Lean forward slightly. Grip the bar with a pronated grasp at shoulder width. Maintain a soft bend in your elbows. Lock wrists into a straight position. Engage the core. Exhale as you draw the bar downwards. Keep shoulders set in a stationary position to avoid rolling or slouching your shoulders forward. Inhale as you slowly return the bar to the starting position. Maintain a soft bend in the elbows. Avoid letting momentum take over the movement. Keep the core engaged to maintain a neutral spine, and also make sure that your neck is in line with your spine at all times. Choose a preferred handle. A common choice is the V handle. Place feet on footrests and grab the V handle with palms facing each other. Slide back on the seat until the legs have a slight bend at the knees. Engage the core and lift the chest up. Set the shoulders straight. Exhale as you draw the handles towards your belly button. Track your elbows as close to your sides as possible without your elbows flaring or wrists becoming angled. Inhale as you slowly return the handle to the starting position. Keep a strong posture with the core engaged and keep the chest lifted.
Pick up your dumbbell and place one knee on the bench and lean forward onto the same arm. Keep a soft bend in your supporting arm throughout the entire exercise. Place your opposite leg slightly out behind you for support and let your arm with a weight in it hang off the side of the bench while maintaining a soft bend in your elbow. Draw your shoulder blades together, engage your core, and look downward to assume a flat back position. Exhale as you raise your arm, bringing your upper arm to your side until it is level with or slightly higher than your back. Inhale as you lower the weight, leaving a soft bend in your elbow. Always keep your back flat and your wrist below your elbow during the entire exercise.
The safest tool to use for this exercise is the Easy Curl Bar. If using weighted plates, apply the collars for safety. Hold the bar at about shoulder width with the pronated grip. Stand with a slight bend in your knees and neutral spine with your shoulder blades rolled back. Exhale as you draw the weight straight upwards along your torso, ending with your elbows high in the air and your shoulders shrugged. Inhale as you return to the start position. If you suffer from pain or an injury to your wrists, do not engage in this exercise. The safest way to perform this exercise is using a squat rack or inside of a power cage. Adjust the safety racks on both sides of the machine to the appropriate height. Then set the shoulder bar to the correct height, which should just be below the shoulder level. Load the bar with weight and step under the bar and place it on the back of your shoulders just behind the neck. Hold onto the bar using both arms at each side and lift it off the rack by first pushing with your legs and at the same time straightening your torso. Step away from the rack and position your legs using a shoulder width medium stance. Keep your head up and maintain a straight back. This will be your starting position. Slowly lower the bar by bending the knees and hips as you maintain a straight posture. Continue down until the angle between the upper leg and the calves becomes slightly less than 90 degrees. Inhale as you perform this portion. Begin to raise the bar as you exhale by pushing the floor with the heel of your foot as you straighten the legs and go back to the starting position. Throughout the exercise, keep your core and back strong. Keep your chin up and your chest up. Make sure your knees track over your toes and don't lean too far forward. Place a stability ball against a wall and gently lean against it, positioning the top of the ball into the low or mid back. Your feet should be positioned 6 to 12 inches out in front of your body, feet hip width apart with toes facing forward. Pull your shoulder blades down and back. Do not allow your low back to pull away from the ball. Gently lean into it as you shift your weight into your heels. Place your hands on the front of your thighs if necessary. Inhale, keeping the mid back into the ball as you bend your knees and begin to lower the body. Push your hips back, allowing them to drop under the ball, and the ball will glide down the wall with you as you lower your torso. Do not move the feet. Keep your knees lined up with your toes and continue to lower yourself until challenged or until your thighs align parallel to the floor. Exhale and slowly push your body up away from the floor, bringing your hips back underneath your body and continue to the start position. Throughout the exercise, keep the core and back strong, keep the chin up and chest up, and make sure your knees track over the toes.
Adjust the seat to desired position and sit down with your back and buttocks in full contact with the pads. Position your feet shoulder width apart and high enough on the platform so that your knees are in line with your ankles. Make sure you are close enough to the platform so that your knees are at least at a 90-degree bend or less. Keep your ankles, knees, and hips all tracking in the same line. Exhale and push your body away from your feet, straightening your legs until a soft bend in the knees are left. Keep your feet in full contact with the platform and continue to make sure your knees stay in line with your hips and your ankles. Inhale and return to the starting position until your knees are at a 90-degree angle.
This exercise may be performed with dumbbells, barbells, body weight, or another apparatus. Begin with your feet shoulder width apart and take an exaggerated step forward. Keep your torso upright, your back straight, and your toes pointed forwards. Inhale as you lower your body towards the ground until your front knee is at a 90-degree angle and your back lower leg is parallel to the floor. Exhaling, push your body back up to the start position. Balance assistant may be used if necessary. This exercise may be performed with dumbbells, barbells, body weight, or another apparatus. Place your front foot on an elevated platform so that your knee is at a 90-degree angle. Keep your torso upright, hips straight, your back aligned, and your foot pointed forwards. Exhale as you lean forwards and move all of your weight onto your front foot. Push through your heel until your knee completely extends. Note that your back leg should not push off the ground at all. Inhale as you return to the start position with your back foot on the ground. Make sure to keep your chest up and your chin up the entire time. Make sure that your knee stays in alignment with your toes. Adjust the machine for your height so that the center of your knee joint is in alignment with the red dot. Place the back of the lower leg on top of the padded lever just a few inches under the calves, and secure the lap pad against your thighs just above the knees. Grasp the side handles in the machine as you point your toes straight out and ensure the legs are fully straight right in front of you. This will be your starting position. As you exhale, pull the machine lever as far as possible to the back of your thighs by flexing in the knees. Keep your torso stationary at all times.
Attach the foot harness to the low pulley. With foot harness on one ankle, grasp the support bar with both hands and step back with the other foot. Elbows remain straight to support the body. Attached foot is slightly off the floor. Pull the cable attachment back towards the butt, flexing the knee until the knee is fully flexed. On the downward movement, return by straightening the knee to the original position and repeat. Continue with the opposite leg.
Lie down on a mat, having your head, back, and buttocks firmly planted on the mat with your lower calves and ankles resting on the stability ball and your knees extended. Place your hands out to your sides for support. Contract your abdominals, squeeze your buttocks, and push your pelvis up towards the ceiling, lifting your lower body off the mat. Keeping your core strong and your pelvis always reaching for the ceiling, exhale and dig your heels into the stability ball while flexing your knees, bringing your feet closer to your buttocks. Inhale and return your knees to the initial position, being sure to leave a soft bend in your knees.
For this exercise, use dumbbells or a barbell in a front rack, back rack, or deadlift position. Stand with your knees shoulder width apart, slightly bent, and your core engaged so that your back is flat. Exhale as you press into the ground with your toes, lifting your heels off of the ground. Perform this with control and do not rush it. Inhale as you return to the starting position with your heels on the ground. Have your bench in an inclined position. Sit back and allow the dumbbells to hang by your sides, ideally with your arms straight down to the ground. Keep your core tight and leave a soft bend in the elbows in this start position. Exhale as you curl the dumbbells upwards towards your shoulders. Make sure not to move the upper arms in this motion. The only moving part should be your forearms. Inhale as you return slowly to the start position. You may use dumbbells or a barbell for this exercise. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, either freestanding or with your back against the wall. Keep your core tight and leave a soft bend in the knees and elbows in the start position. Exhale as you curl the barbell up towards your shoulders. Make sure not to move your upper arms in this motion. The only moving part should be your forearms. Keep your elbows glued to your sides. Inhale as you return slowly to the start position.
Sit on the edge of the bench with your feet flat on the floor. If needed, one leg can be positioned on a step or on a dumbbell for more comfort. Open your legs into a wide V shape. Place the hand that you are not lifting with on your thigh for support and bend at the hips to grasp the dumbbell. With the arm holding the dumbbell, rest the elbow on your inner thigh. Extend your arm down so that there is a slight bend in the elbow. Essentially, your palm should be facing the opposite ankle. Keep your chest up and your shoulders rolled back. Exhale as you raise the dumbbell up towards your opposite shoulder. Inhale as you lower the dumbbell back down to the initial position, leaving a soft bend in your elbow. Keep your head up in line with your spine while contracting your abdominals.
Sit down on a bench and place your hands shoulder width apart, grasping the edge of the bench. Extend your legs out in front with your feet together and slide your buttocks just off the edge of the bench. Inhale as you lower your body by bending your elbows until your upper arms are parallel to the floor. Keep your elbows directly behind you in line with your shoulders and do not flare them out. Exhale as you raise your body back to the initial position, keeping a soft bend in your elbows. Set your desired weight and then turn the handles on the machine inwards. Step up onto the machine and kneel onto the pad, being sure your elbows are softly bent, hands are beside your hips, and your wrists are flat. Keeping your chest up and your core tight, inhale as you lower your body by pushing your elbows straight up behind you, keeping your wrists flat and below your elbows. Once your upper arms are parallel to the floor, exhale and lift your body back up until a soft bend in the elbows. Always keep your chest up, wrists flat, and never flare out your elbows. Set the cables to head height and attach preferred handle. Grasp the handle with a shoulder width apart overhand grip. Bring your elbows tight to your sides. Place feet shoulder width apart, bend your knees, and tighten your core. Exhale as you push the handle down towards your thighs, leaving a soft bend in your elbows. Inhale as you slowly let your hands move up towards your shoulders while keeping your elbows tight towards your side. Let the handle rotate through your palms in order to keep your wrist flat, and always keep your elbows tucked into your sides so they stay below your shoulders during the entire exercise.
Load an easy bar or regular bar with the correct weight and place the safety collars on them. Use a spotter if necessary. The initial position is to stand holding a barbell in front of your body, hands gripping the bar at shoulder width with a supinated grip. In the downward movement, bend the elbows and lower the weight down a few inches above the forehead or until elbows are at a 90-degree angle. The upward movement is extending the arms straight up over the chest, palms face out, and thumbs wrapped around so that they're next to the fingers. If on the bench and the back is arched, get a stepping stool or put your feet on the bench. Keep a slight bend in the elbows while extending the arms. You can also use a dumbbell by placing each hand on the rubber section of the dumbbell. Extend the arms straight up over the chest, palms face the weight with fingers gripping around the bulk section of the weight.
Use a dumbbell for this exercise. Place the same hand and knee on a bench and allow your other arm to hang over the edge of the bench with your other foot on the ground for support. Keep a tight back and core. Pull your arm up and hug the elbow into your side as it will remain there for the entire exercise. From here, exhale as you extend the elbow, pushing the weight backwards. Do not use momentum and do not allow your upper arm to change position. Inhale and return to the start position.
Adjust a bench to a seated position with back support. Grasp your dumbbells and place them on your thighs when seated. Kick the weights up to either shoulder height if your shoulders are healthy, or to head height with your elbows in line with your shoulders. Exhale as you push the dumbbells upward above your forehead, touching the weights at the top, keeping a soft bend in your elbows. Inhale and lower the dumbbells back to shoulder height. Always keep your elbows below your wrists so you do not flare out your elbows on the way down. Pick up your dumbbells and stand with your feet shoulder width apart and knees slightly bent. Begin with the dumbbells in front of your thighs and palms facing each other with a soft bend in your elbows. Roll your shoulders back and down and exhale as you raise the dumbbells upward straight out to your sides until your palms face the floor. Keep your wrists and elbows in line with your shoulders. Inhale as you slowly return the dumbbells to the front of your thighs while maintaining a soft bend in your elbows. Always keep your wrists flat and your wrists and elbows in line with your shoulders.
Use dumbbells for this exercise. Begin standing with your knees slightly bent with a flat back and tight core, and have the dumbbells resting just at your thighs, arms shoulder width apart. Leave a soft bend in the elbows and exhale as you lift the dumbbells forward in a wide arc until your arms are parallel with the ground. Do not swing your arms for momentum. Inhale as you slowly return to the start position. If you have issues with balance or with low back pain, it is recommended that you perform this exercise one arm at a time. Lay down on the mat, bend your knees and keep your feet flat on the floor. Place your arms by your side or across your chest. Keep a low back arch and pull your belly button towards your spine, engaging the transverse abdominis. For the curl up, pull your ribcage towards your hips, slightly lifting your upper back off of the ground. Maintain the low back arch. With control, allow your body to return to the start position. Do not relax and repeat the motion. Keep the head and neck in a neutral position the whole time. Do not hyperflex or hyperextend the neck. Lay down on a mat, bend your knees, and allow your legs to raise up into the air, upper legs resting about perpendicular to the ground. Place your arms by your side or across your chest. Pull your belly button towards your spine, engaging the transverse abdominis. For the reverse curl-up motion, allow your knees to come into your chest or go up into the air by lifting the lower back slightly off of the ground. With control, allow your hips to return to the starting position. Do not engage in this exercise if you suffer from any type of lower back pain or injury. Perform the plank on your toes and forearms similar to the push-up position. Have the palms facing the ground or hands together. Keep your back flat and contract your glutes and abdominals to prevent your hips from sagging towards the floor. Keep your head and neck flat with the rest of your spine to prevent any rounding of the back. When using the back extension machine, adjust the pad so that the top sits at about your hip height. Step onto the machine so that the front of your legs and pelvis are resting against a large pad. Cross your hands over your chest, engage your core, and keep your head in line with your back. Inhale as you slowly lower your torso towards the ground, allowing both the hips and the trunk to flex. Without relaxing fully, exhale and lift your torso back up to the starting position, straightening your spine out again. Do not perform this exercise if you have a history of low back pain. Load the weight onto the barbell and secure with collars. Adjust the safety catches. The barbell should be slightly below shoulder height on the rack. Step under the bar and place the bar on top of the anterior pocket of the shoulder for the front rack position. Allow the elbows to flex back and keep the hands on the bar. If you have elbow pain here, switch to the back squat position. Lift the bar off the rack and step back and adjust your feet so that they are slightly more than shoulder width apart. Keep the entire core engaged from the shoulders to the pelvis and keep your head in line with your spine. Inhale as you lower the bar towards the ground in a squat position, stopping when your upper legs are parallel to the ground or slightly below parallel. Exhale and push through your heels, driving your hips and the bar back up to the start position. Make sure that your knees track in line with your feet and that they do not pass over the toes. For the Palloff press, adjust the cable so that it is chest height. Take the cable and take a sideways stance so that you have to apply rotational force to keep your torso erect. Take a stable stance, knees slightly bent and a back flat, core very engaged. From here, hold the cable close into your chest with both hands. Keeping your body stable, exhale and extend the cable straight out in front of your chest so that your elbows extend. Inhale and bring the cable back in towards your chest. Don't allow your knees and hips to succumb to the rotational forces. Choose your grip, the wide pronated grip being the hardest, and the narrow neutral or supinated grip being the easiest. Hang from the handles and engage your entire body from your hands, pulling the shoulder blades back and down, rotating the pelvis posteriorly, and pointing the knees and toes. This will put you in what is called the hollow body gymnastics position. From here, exhale and lift your hips and legs up until your legs are parallel to the ground. Avoid any swinging motion that would use momentum to help. Slowly lower your legs back to the ground while inhaling. The harder version is to attempt to touch your toes to the handles or to the sky. Choose your grip. The wide pronated grip being the hardest and the narrow neutral or supinated grip being the easiest. Hang from the bar and engage your entire body from your hands, pulling the shoulder blades back and down, rotating the pelvis posteriorly, and pointing the knees and toes. This will put you in what is called a hollow body gymnastics position. From here, exhale and pull your entire center of mass upwards, maintaining that hollow body position. Attempt to get your chin above hand level. Avoid using any swing or any movement that would allow momentum to take over the exercise. Do not lose your scapular position and maintain those retracted shoulder blades. Inhaling, slowly lower your center of mass back down until there is just a slight bend or full lockout in the elbows. If you have any elbow pain, do not go to full lockout. Attach your weights on the barbell and secure with collars. For the deadlift, have your stance shoulder width or slightly wider with toes pointing straight forward to slightly outwards. Bend down with a flat back and use a pronated grip so that your hands are placed just outside of your legs. It is important to know that in this exercise, it is essential to hinge at the hips and not bend in the back. Do not bend at the knees too much either and push your butt and hips backwards and up into the air. Keep your shoulder blades pulled back and your head in line with your spine. Exhale and drive your heels into the ground and your hips up into the air and towards the bar as it comes off the ground. Keep your lats engaged and thus have a strong back. End with a very minimal bend at the knees and your hips completely extended. Inhale and lower the bar using the same path as the upwards portion. It is important to hinge at the hips instead of just bending at the knees. Keep your core very strong. If you are struggling with grip, straps, chalk, or mixed grips are recommended. Attach your weights on the barbell and secure with collars. For the barbell bent over row, have your stance shoulder width or slightly wider with toes pointing straight forward to slightly out. Bend down with a flat back and use a pronated grip so that your hands are placed just outside of your legs. It is important to know that in this exercise, it is essential to hinge at the hips and not bend in the back or the knees. Push your butt and hips backwards and up into the air. Keep your shoulder blades retracted and your head in line with your spine. Drive your heels into the ground and your hips up into the air to get the bar off of the ground. Keep your lats engaged and thus have a strong back. End with a very minimal bend in the knees and your hips flex forwards close to 90 degrees. This is the isometric start position that you will maintain throughout. Exhale and pull the bar up towards your abdomen. Keep the lats tight so that you track the bar close to your legs and hips. Inhale and lower the bar back down to the isometric start position. Keep your core very strong and don't allow momentum to control this exercise. If you are struggling with grip, straps, chalk, or mixed grips are recommended.